gonna wait probably one more minute for people to file back in. And hello, Michael. Thank you for being my session assistant today.
Hello, sorry I'm so crap at singing Irish.
It's not as familiar a language as people would like to pretend it is. It's just not. We don't hear it spoken in the grocery store by other people pushing prams. We don't hear it when we're out in the field. We don't hear it, um, for the most part, at home. So it makes sense. Our ears are not used to it. And I'll put it up in the chat again, Michael, if when you get a chance, you can share that link again, because we don't know how many people will be new and how many people will have seen this yesterday. So I want to do a quick refresher. Um, so that link is useful for more people.
Can I just say I would kill to have the words in IPA? It would solve everything for me.
Well, so one of the challenges with that is that people approach the IPA differently regionally, right?
Oh,
So in the north versus in the south of Ireland, you
oh,
can hear different swings of the vowels, different ways of emphasizing or not quite as hard emphasizing certain consonants and things. And that really messes with linguists. Um, yeah. So I would say that if you hear something that makes sense for you, then feel free to make a copy on your laptop when I share the links for the songs and make your own notes in it so that it makes sense for you.
gotcha. I can do that. I fear that I'm completely and totally butchering it.
Yeah. So I'll try to do it as smoothly and take my time with it enough to make it easier to catch along with. Um, but there's no way to master this tradition in a single weekend. There's That's just not possible.
I
So,
think you're doing an awesome job, Amelia. That's why I'm back.
oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have nearly 30 people. The rest will file in as needed. I'm gonna put my computer on focus so we have fewer beeps and bloops going on. So yesterday we launched into a beginning Sean-nós workshop, the very first, and we started with some examples um, of songs that had some repetition. We started sort of showing how Sean-nós can be applied to, that is, Sean-nós being old style, can be applied to pop songs even, if you let them breathe and expand with the push and pull of both dynamic and volume, um, and change the tone as you sort of let them breathe. Um, you get to do that a little bit with this style of music. So I recognize it is hard mode for singing folk songs. You kind of have to have some foundation of listening very closely to be able to wander into this pool, but we'll get you as close as we can to open the door for you. This is a tradition that is learned via listening to people. It's what they call a living tradition. So in these notes on Sean-nós, and Michael shared the link again in the chat. I'm gonna put it one more time. Oh no, he's done it already. Um, Look at you helping me all be all prepared and stuff. Um, so some of the conventions are that it's a style of singing which is never the same way twice, not accompanied, not got choruses that are repeated every single time, and it's not and it's often in the Irish language or Ascaige. I'm gonna do a quick overview. I am American. I am the grandchild of immigrants. So not even my parents were born in Ireland. But I heard folk songs as a little kid from traditional singers. So I've been steeped in this kind of music for a very long time, listening to my elders, learning from my elders. And then, weirdly enough, in modern times, finding recordings of this kind of music, which tend to flatten or make the same every single time. Um, Pieces of music or story songs that people share, which is what we're kind of doing with the Sean-nós tradition, treating it with that storytelling bent. Um, Stop me if you've heard this before, if you want to just sort of skip on past it. I feel like I've corrected some of my weird typographical errors in the overview notes since last year, so yay. Questions on anything so far? Nope. Okay, we're gonna move on. So I'm gonna pull up a song that we did yesterday and go ahead and grab it from the chat, Michael, when you see it pop up. Give me just a second. And I'm going to actually bring in the Irish song, Gawa Molta Brige, because it is perfectly appropriate for this time of year, the St. Bridget's Day sort of holiday of the early February, the beginning of lambing season. Is there a documents folder? Yes, I am happy to also do that. I have some of my notes in different places, but I will put them in my Lark, um, in a Lark folder and share it during this at some point. So right now is Gawa Molta Brige. And Michael, if you would be willing to share your screen and open Gawa Molta Brige so we can see
Okay,
it.
give me a second.
Uh-huh. La la la. And yeah, oop, gotta make it bigger. Thank you. Perfect. This looks lovely. So I'm gonna sing the first verse. The phonetic pronunciation is based on certain people listening to the sounds and kind of catching some of them and trying their best to get close. So it should help a little bit. Is it perfect? Probably no. um, but it's a good place to start. So I'm going to sing it nice and slow and without the grace notes or ornaments. Extra notes sort of tacked on to sort of color it and bring it to life. Gawa molta brigio, yan wani leran, yan wan lega chiri, mo mishgaleri. And I'm going to stop us here and remind us of a few things about reading the words as printed in with English letters. So the first is when you see certain consonants followed by an H, that softens or pulls back that consonant. So gawa, gawa, molta. It's like it's a gawa, like make a b sound and then pull the sound back in your mouth. Gawa, yeah. One more time. Gawa molta brige. Now, what's happening there is I'm also pronouncing the vowels to varying degrees, but each of the vowels that we see represented, which is why you hear those diphthongs like ya, ya, yanwan, right? Um, and when you see those little accents, those diacritical fada, as they're called, stresses, that's the vowel to stress of that diphthong. That's the vowel to pay most attention to, right? So you still kind of hear the coloration of the other one adjusting that vowel, but you get to hear both vowels. Those are true when you read Irish in the North and the South, again, to varying degrees. In the north and in the south, the pronunciations are more different than between the north and Scotland, the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, the Scots Gaelic part of Scotland, where in the islands they still speak Gaelic. The Irish language is called Irish. And in Irish, the term is ascoilge. So let me do that again, nice and slow here with you. And I'm going to stop after the first time through, and I want you to sing it with me, and then I'll open up the floor for you to give it a go. I believe in you. I know you can. I heard you yesterday. Some lovely singers in the room. So Gawam ta brija yan wani leran yan wan legak chiri mo Now, one of the fun things is that you'll see S, like Sean-nós, like the term for singing in that old style or old way. And you'll see Sean-nós dancing, and you'll see Sean-nós storytelling, and you'll see Sean-nós singing, which is what we're doing here today. And that S followed by a bright vowel, an E or an I, becomes sh, sh. Imagine having a very soft S sound sort of pulled back in your mouth, like pull it back behind your teeth a little bit, right? You're almost coming up to the teeth. And then put a vowel right immediately after that. Sh. It becomes sh, sh, where your tongue doesn't quite go all the way forward or through your teeth. So it doesn't become sh, sh, right? It becomes sh. You should be able to kind of hear or feel it in your mouth, like the sides of your tongue a little bit more than the very, very tippy tip. So Sean-nós. And then, so let's go through the first verse one more time. Gamon te bridge yang wani leran yang wan legak tiring Let's open the floor, and I want to hear one more person try it nice and clean. You don't have to add any pretty grace notes or extra fluff. Just sing me the spine if we can, as best you can. Can I get a volunteer? Anybody? Nope. No volunteers? Can I volunteer someone else? Oh, you're gonna go. Okay, Ellen Vanderhoven. Yeah? Give it a go. Oh, oh, you're still muted. You're still muted. There we
Okay,
go.
I found it. I found it. Okay. Molta bricha yon wani lerin yon wan legach shiri mola mishkaleri.
That sounded very nice. And I heard you add some grace notes in there. I heard you sort of coloring it with your own voice and style a little bit. And that is a thing that you can count on in singing Sean-nós songs, is that each voice that touches it will necessarily have changed it by the fact that they are singing it, right? You're going to have added the grace notes where you add them. You're going to add the swing or shape of it to breathe differently, but still breathing, right? Because you breathe differently than I breathe, right? That sort of intuitively makes sense. Um, I'm gonna add a little bit of grace note back into it in the way that I would do so that you can hear some contrast. And I'll sing it mostly pretty clean, pretty much the way Ellen did, but I'm gonna add a few of mine, right? Go a molta bridge, Jan wanileran, Jan wanlegak chiri, moamish galeri. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that I don't sound bombastic, right? That's not what the song wants. And I'm sharing with you a conversation with a, if it's a living thing, if the songs are alive and you treat them like they're alive, almost through an animist lens, then you would treat them with respect and you would let them be what they are rather than trying to drastically make this a pub song, for example, or make something a chorus or give it a giant drum beat. Like you could probably do those things to it, but it probably wouldn't be appropriate to the words, right? Or the story that I'm sharing within the song. One more person want to give that first verse a go? Any other hands up? Huh? I don't see any hands. Michael, can you see any hands in the room with us? No, no thumbs. Okay. We're gonna do who's looking politely at us? How about, do you want to give it a go, Michael? No, okay, fine. Catherine Lobier, I see you looking at you're looking into the camera here, so maybe you want to give it a go? No, that's a no face. Okay. Kate, do you want to give it a try?
I'm sure I won't die, will I? So,
Oh, you won't die.
Galmilta Brija, Yon Wanilerin, Yon Wale Gakshiri, Mulamish Galeri.
Nice. That sounded really lovely and really like it's got a warm tone. And you've sort of, I hear what you've done there is you've brought the singing to be resonant within your own skeletal structure, which is exactly the kind of singing that this is. So, some really good stuff there. Yeah.
And beginning to make up my own tune because I couldn't quite remember what you were singing, but there you are.
Okay. We get it with repetition, we get it with
Yeah.
singing. Um, Now, one of the tricks about Sean-nós is that it is not a written form of song carrying, right? So it's harder to replicate every single time precise notes and inflections. And we don't have, for example, the IPA, as Laura was asking at the beginning. That would make it so much easier. Yes, if the way that you approach learning new subjects is to be able to reference again so that you get it right, then maybe it's got more of a straitjacket on it and it can't change from telling to telling or from um, moment to moment, right? So I still heard some beautiful things in there, and I think you should give yourself a round of applause. You just sang in Irish, right? If someone heard you try that in Ireland, they would be like, "Oh, you're giving it a go in Irish." They would recognize some of these words, right? So that's pretty freaking good for a weekend workshop to be able to sing in this foreign language that you don't hear all the time. Um, cut yourself some slack. I'm just going to say that one more time, nice and big. Cut yourself some slack. Um, there's no such thing as perfection, just like people cannot be perfect and other living things cannot be perfect. There's no such thing, right? There's beautiful and there's interesting and there's textured in different ways each time, but perfect doesn't exist. Yeah. So I'm going to go one more time. We're going to sing it again. Sing with me if you can. If you feel brave enough, I have heard some lovely singers here already, so I believe in you. Yeah. Go among the bridges, yan wani leran, yan wan lega cheering. More Glady. Yeah. Getting the melody a little bit stronger. Yeah. Lochran yawn alanya. So shayin na chira. Kyan ar oaveran. Kyan naman Armenia. So lo, that O is emphasized there. Lochran. And what happens when you make an E sound followed by an A? Just say the vowel sounds out loud rather than trying to, like, as though it were IPA, right? Actually treat the vowels with how you would recognize making the sounds in any Romance language that you were trying to pronounce. It's a. It's not e, which then becomes a different diphthong that's more related to Germanic languages. I know, highbrow academic weirdness. But so if we're looking at lochran, gal becomes gal. Yeah, you can kind of hear that, right? Nod if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Um, solche kind of became is those two vowels together are sort of how you treat that sound. Solche. It's very subtle. Solche. Solche. So the sh is the important part there. Solche. And then, like I said yesterday, the leading F followed by an E or an I, a bright vowel, is typically elided almost entirely. Just make a note for your own self on the copy. Like, make yourself a copy. You can download the copy. Feel free to mess with it and change it to the way that you hear the phonetics. Um, Sol, sh, ye, na. Then, tiere, tiere, tiere. Oh, okay, right? What happens when you do a T and an I, like shun, it sort of becomes TI. Oh, that's what we're doing here. That's why the sounds look like um, consumption or ch, ch. That sound should be more familiar to your English speaking ears. Solche, jena, chire. Kian. Remember, there are two N's there, so it's like ah. It sort of drops it or grounds that following consonant. Kian are orav, eran, eran. I'm going to do these all together. Lochran, Gjalna, Leinjach, Solche, Jera, Jena, Chira. Sorry, messed that up. Kian, Ar Orav, Eran, Kian, Naman. Armenia. N, 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 n. If you think of swooping off the consonants, it might help you sort of make it flow a little more easily. So let's link those all together. Lochran, Yalna, Lainach, Lainach, Solsche, Jena, Tira. You hear how they kind of got a little bit of a swoop to them, a little bit of a movement. Kyan ar orav eran, Kyan naman Armenia. We're going to do this all together, and I'm going to sing it. Lochran yal malanya, so shayen atire, kyan ar oaran, kyan naman Armenia. One more time. Not if you're following with me here. Following? Give it a go. Okay, great. Lochran yam alaina, so shayen atire, kyan ar ogaveran, kyan naman Armenia. We're going to go from the top. Go molta bridge, Yan wani la eran, Yan wan lega chiri, Molamish galeri. And second verse again. Lochran yal malanya, so shayen atira, kyan ar ogaveran, kyan naman Armenia. Yeah, let's try it. Give it a go. Anybody want to step up and give it a try? It's got some nice repetition in there, so if that helps you remember the melody, then use it. Yeah? Okay, give it a go. Anybody? Anybody? No? Oh, I do. I see a hand. Laura. Great.
Yanamul tabrisha, yan wanelerin, yan walegochiri, molamishkuleri. Logranial na linea, Zoshayal na tira, Yanero iverin, Yanamon emienia.
That was pretty good. Yeah, all the way through 2 verses of singing in the Irish language. One of the things that I think this person that helped me try to write out the phonetics was doing was that they were trying to get me to um, look at the way that other speakers have approached some of the sounds. So in Herin, it's not Herin, it's Heran, Heran. Like if you see the EANN at the ends of Kian and the Kian, it's Eran is a way to sort of tweak that very subtly, but it really helps in listening. So if you make a sort of mental note for that to change your version in your notes, do that. Um, beautiful job. Beautiful job. Yeah, nice and clean. And we understood the sort of movement was very gentle. Like there's a little bit of storytelling as you're folding into the flow of it. Like good job. Now let's move on to the third verse. Third verse. Now let's look at why that would be pronounced Jandu, right? Dian du b h becomes v v. You've pulled that b back, right? Tig, tig. It's not I the way it is in English. It's tig, an, hera, yera. EADH is r, r, r. Oh, what does that D do? It's like super softened. It's pulled back in the mouth, so you almost don't finish there. But that's kind of the way you close out the vowel sound. Um, gera, gera. And then you'd soften that initial G so it's not a G, not so forward in the mouth. It's pulled back a little bit. Gera. So they still write it out in the phonetic here is gera. Don't do that. Or gira. Like, that's just going to sound weird. A is the combination of vowel sounds. That E and that I become A. A. So tig, an, yera, ea, the. So tig, an, yera, jian, du. Yep. And then yera, lena, era, yera, yera. Do those two together. Tig, an, yera, jandu. Gera, lena, yera. Ach, arla, or actually that has a, no, it doesn't have a diacritical fada on it. So ach arla lebrija, gar, dwin, yerach, eran. We'll do those together. Tig, an yera, jandu, gera, lena, yera. Ach, arla, lebrija, gar, dwin, yerach, eran. And I'm going to sing it. Chigan yera jandu, gera lana vere, afar la lebritja, gardwin era heran. Yeah, do it one more time with me. Give it a go. Chigan yera jandu, gera lena ere. It is not sacrilege, but let me finish the verse. Acherwalla bridge Garwin In fact, I'm going to pause it right there. If that helped you go through it, I'm going to sing it one more time before opening up the floor all the way through. Um, so in answer to your question, Laura, what they call a Sean-nós song on an instrument, or what I call a finger instrument, is an air. This is what you hear when this is where that comes from. The very first instrument is the voice. Before people made things with sticks and rocks and carved bones to make flutes and banged on things, they had their voices. So from that, instruments came later, and they could still do melody, and they could follow the human voice and try to mimic and play texturally um, with other sounds. So you get some beautiful sort of high voices on things like the tin whistle, and you get some nice, lovely low sounds on things like basses, right? Um, or like cellos have a much nicer, like have a beautiful low sound to mimic lower voices. The bottom half of a piano, the left half, are lower voices, so you get some of the resonances like plucked harp strings that are the most far away from a singer, with the high notes plinked at the top of the instrument. So let's do it from the top of the verse, and I'm gonna then slowly add in the first one and the second one and then the third one again. 지간예라 짠두 게라완 나게라 아할랄레 프리자 간주인네 라헤람. Yep. One more time. Nod if you need it one more time. Yes, I see nods. Okay. We're going to do it again. 지간예라 짠두 게랄렌 나에레 아할라 브리자 간주네 라헤람. Right? One of the things you will also notice is that it is, according to Western music, legato. So the phrases are connected by the breath, right? A line of words is carried by a breath. That is a convention, but it follows the breath. Where you break up a given phrase is about it's most important where you breathe for dramatic emphasis, for storytelling purposes, for being able to convey the emotional quality of your experience with the song itself. Now, I like St. Bridget and I like Bridget's Day stuff because yay, champion of women, yay, champion of um, people who are in a lot of the time period of the like post-Roman invasions of Alba and England. You end up getting some really weird patriarchal processes for that shifted a lot of the cultural conversations. And so to have a character that's like, hey, we're here too. Um, it's a very inclusive way of thinking about more of the population. And that's much older than Roman invasion. So or the extension of it in the form of the British Empire. So from the top, I'm going to do it one more time. I want you to sing with me. Yeah. Monte Bridge, yang wani leran, yang wan lega chiri, mo glady. Lochan yao na lainia, so she na tira, kyan ar veran, kyan naman armenia. Jigan yere jandu, yere len nagera, achar lale bridja, gar dwinera heran. That's the whole song. Now, if you time it, it's not very long, but because it's nice and slow, you probably get at least 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of actual singing with it. I wouldn't recommend speeding it up too much, or you'll start to sort of give it what my friend Julie calls a straight jacket. You'll try to sink it into a metered tempo. Think rubato. think think super super loose. It's not that it doesn't have structure. It's that its structure is not what you're used to thinking of in different systems of music, right? So I'm going to sing it one more time before opening it up again. I really, really, really want you to try it and play with it. Here's a great space to, it doesn't matter if it's not exactly right or whatever. Like, it's fine. It's actually fine to be in a play space here. No one's going to be mad about it. Randy's comment about speeding it up would try to make it something it's not. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You want to give it time and space to breathe with what you're doing with it, right? Yang wani leran, yang wan lega chiri, mo mi skoleri. Lachen jou na lenya, zoals je na tira, Jan naar horen, Jan na man naar menja. Tigar yera jandu, gera wen na yere, achar la bridja, gadwin era heram. Right? Now, I want to hear someone else experiment and try it and see what they can do to pull in some of their own grace notes or not, or just mess with it. Let's see what we can do. Um, anybody? Anybody? So close. So close. Let's see here. I'm going to. Who wants to? Who wants to? I see a hand. Elena DeLacy. No, she's clapping. Okay. Um.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We do it together.
Can we do it together? The two of
Um.
my
Well.
No. It's a solo thing.
partner.
Yeah. So you go.
Oh, I'll go. Okay.
We'll do you after the other. Is that okay?
Okay. Galta brija, Yanmanileran, Yanmanlegastiri, Mulamishkaleri. Lakran gyana linya, Soshayana chira, Kyanero iveran, Kyanamone minya. Chigun gira jandu, Yaralena yera, Okelale brisha, Gadwin arakeran.
Fabulous. I think that sounded really like a really good approach to the tone and the fluidity of it. And I heard where your breathing sort of helped give it a little bit of shape without squishing it. Like that was really well done. Yeah. And then your person next to you, do you want to give it a go?
Yes.
All right. Galam molta brija, yon wan learan, yon wan le gociri, mula mishkaleri. Lokran na linha, Soshya na chira, Kyanero veran, Kyanamon erminia. Chigun gera jandu, Gera lena yera, Okala le brilla, Gardinaro geran. Kind of
There's,
the melody.
you got more of it than you think. And I heard some grace notes from both of you. I heard you doing little swings and little shifts that color and bring to life the song in different ways from each other, which is exactly right. That's exactly right. Um, I'm super pleased. You both sang in Irish. Congratulations. Yeah. Who else wants to go? Who else wants to give it a try? Anybody? Anybody? Uh, let's see. Participants list. I'm gonna call on someone. Um, oh, I don't see any hands at the moment. Dun dun dun. Michael, do you see anybody? No? Okay.
No,
Okay,
I don't see any. By the way, you've got just 9 minutes left.
Yep. Okay. So, let's try. I'm gonna sing it one more time all the way through. If you want to watch this video going forward, please do. Feel free to, if you can. All the workshops this weekend are free, but donations help to be able to make them happen year over year. So if you can, that's a great thing to do. to keep arts education going. I'm going to sing it all the way through another time so that we can get it nice and solid. And I'm going to sing it 2 times, once without the grace notes and once with, right? So first, no grace notes. Gauam molta pritya Yanvani leran Yanvan lega chiri Molami shkaleri Lachran nalanya So shaye natira Kyan arwaveran Kyan naman narmenya Chigan yera tiandu Gerawen ayera Acharlala britja Gardwen yeracheran. That was clean. And I'm going to do it with a little more flavor added. Gawa molta britja Yanwani laeran Yanwan lega tiring Molamish goleri Lochran yalmalanya Sol shuyen atira Kyan arhogaveran Kyan man narmanya Chigan yera diandu Geralan na yera Achar lala britja Gardwin eracheran. Yay! So I hope you were singing along with that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a link in the chat here to my Lark Camp Google Drive, Sean-nós singing lyrics. Here we go. And this is what I have used at various Lark camps in the past. So if you want to come find me and follow me after the fact, feel free to shoot me an email. I think it's in the materials on the various profiles of the different instructors. We're going to be adding to the song by bringing in another song tomorrow after we go through it so that we get some of each of the things that we've been working, and then we get to build on some of the themes and flavors, right? And I am feeling a very sort of minor key thing going on. So that's where I'm writing with the teaching songs in Irish right now. But it's going to be a more complicated, slightly more complicated song tomorrow. But again, there's plenty of repetition and the chorus is super fun. I hope you love it. Thanks for showing up and for singing along and giving it your best brave go. Like, you all sounded good. I'm gonna vacate the space for the next person, or you can find me in, I think I'm gonna be hanging out in the coffee house for a few minutes. If you want to ask me questions.
Thank you, Amelia.
Thank you for helping me out by like checking the chat and posting the links and things. That was really helpful. Hope to see you, at least some of you, tomorrow.